Question 9. What performance techniques have you used during the rehearsal process? What was the result of this? At the very, very beginning of Pantomime, before we were working on the show and before we were cast, we looked at Commedia dell'arte and sort of the stereotypical characters, so the big boss who would walk with broad shoulders, the master-servant comedy, so for example, in Pantomime we've got the rat and then the ratlins, you know, the master who's going, oh no, do this, you're doing it wrong, and then the servant who just isn't understanding what the master is on about and is doing everything wrong. We looked at that. You know, the heroine, you know, the flirty woman. We looked at all the different stereotypical characters from Commedia dell'arte and we linked them to Pantomime, which we now use. So, like I've just mentioned, the rats and the ratlins, that's the master-servant comedy. We also looked at breaking the fourth wall as well. So, you know, working with children. We have in the past done a storytelling project where we would work with children, and then from that experience we learn what children like, what they don't like, what keeps them interested. And from storytelling we did learn that children like to be involved, and so we have got a lot of breaking the fourth wall, asking questions. A lot of us as actors have added in our own bits within the script. For example, like I mentioned earlier, I ask the audience if any of them have been to London, and I have a conversation with them. If some of the children have been to London, you know, I'll go, oh, was it nice? I'll come off script and add in my own bits to interact with my audience, and every other person in our group has done that at some point as well. We've had very positive results from looking at these performance techniques in particular. We haven't yet had an audience, but as a group, when we are sitting and watching each other's scenes, we can see the energy levels boosting right up when we add a technique from Commedia that we've learnt, and, you know, the comedy of it, or when we add in breaking the fourth wall, we can really see the energy boosting up. Question number 10. Briefly discuss what needs to happen next lesson or what you need to remember to do. Bring or complete for next session. Always do this in the form of an action plan. Okay, so next lesson, I need to go over my own actions for my dance and work out what bits I'm going to do. So what parts I'm going to interact with the audience, what parts I'm going to stand at the back of the stage. Instead of focusing on my dancers, I need to focus on what I'm going to do, structure it myself a little bit. Another action plan, I need to look more into my costume for my fairy. I need to think about my fairy's personality. So I'm quite a bubbly fairy, so I need to look at costumes with bright colours. My theme is 80s style, so I need to look at, you know, leg warmers, 80s style hair. So they're my action plans for the next lesson.